All right, welcome Team Blue Island. We are here for our wine changes for the fall and winter menu, 22 going into 23. Not a ton of changes on this list, but some very important changes we need to touch on. White and Rosé changes by the glass. Sagenwieter Sancerre. We have a new Rosé Provence style, the La Escural. Sorry, I'm a little under the weather here today. And then finally, a lot of you guys have been asking for us to put a sweet wine on the menu. A lot of guest requests. We have a Karl Graf Riesling from the Moselle Riesling. So starting right away, Sancerre. We've had Sancerre on the list for many, many years. One of our most popular wines by the glass. As we should all know by now, Sancerre is Sauvignon Blanc. So this is French Sauvignon Blanc from the Loire Valley. Very, very traditional, limey, lemon peel in the nose. Tons of fruit on this wine, which is a little abnormal. So I think this is a little bit more friendly that you were mentioning. So Ben, taste it and tell us about it.
Yeah, so as Sean was just saying, this one's got a little more fruit presence than a traditional Sancerre that I've seen before, but still has all of that kind of vibrant acidity that you're usually looking for in a Sauvignon Blanc. You might get little hints of kind of the grass pepper notes that you'll get in more well-known Sauvignon Blancs, California, New Zealand. But this one's all about kind of that crisp acid structure and just kind of hints and whispers of, kind of light, think more kind of lemon lime citrusy type fruit, maybe a little bit of green apple in there. Great pairing with seafood. You're all probably familiar with Sancerre at this point. Easy sell by the glass. This one should be a really popular one on the list.
Great with oysters. Keep in mind, this is not New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc, right?
Yeah,
so
this is
big
French.
difference. Always, if someone thinks they're looking for a New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc, either small taster of this if we're trying to get a little bit of an upsell prior to pouring the whole glass, because again, if you're obsessed with New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc and you're looking for that tropical fruit, this is not it.
your guy.
Coming to the Riesling again, guests wanting something sweet, right? This, I would not consider this like a Blue Nun Riesling, which is like super, super sweet. This is an off-dry wine. There is a bunch of residual sugar in it though. You're gonna feel that sit heavy on your tongue. You get into the nose of this, you immediately get like honeysuckle. I get that Saint Germain elderflower, like right in the nose. Super great food wine. Rieslings go really well with food, especially spicy food. So think like the calamari, the miso bass dish, anything with those pickled Fresnos. This goes really, really well. What do you get when you taste it?
Yeah, this is actually one of my favorite ones on the list now. As Sean was saying, there's a lot of sugar on the front end. If somebody's just straight up looking for a sweet wine, this may not be exactly what they're looking for, but this is as close as you're going to get. You get a lot of sugar on that front end, but a lot of kind of structure of a little more like green apples. Think kind of more like ripe citrus fruit there.
And that brings that acidity in.
Yeah,
So it's not just a sweet wine. It's like a super balanced wine. That's what makes it. Because you got the residual sugar, but then it's like, boom, look at all that acidity.
And it's the acidity that really kind of makes this special. You get the sugar, like you said, you get the fruit notes, but it's that citrus or it's that acidic finish that keeps this wine kind of refreshing and not cloying and overpowering, and makes it a great pairing with food. As Sean was saying, especially spicy, sweet and spicy is one of my favorite flavor combinations. This is a great wine to get people that want to try something different, especially if you're looking to wow somebody with an off-the-cuff wine pairing. If they just say like, hey, what would go great with this? Anything spicy, like Sean was saying, anything with those pickled Fresnos, recommend a glass of this and watch them.
Also anything fried. I find that Rieslings go well with fried foods. The fish and chips, the clams, the shrimp. And one of the things to touch on, this vintage in particular, super drought in the Mosel region this year, so that's what's bringing that acidity up. And then last but not least here, not by the glass, but the Provence style rosé. We get a lot of people that know the word Provence. Provence is in the south of France. Grenache, Syrah, Mourvedre, almost always. Super bright fruit. You get a lot of that fresh strawberry, not like that stewed strawberry, like in some of like the Tavel, which is a little bit like darker fruit. But this is like fresh spring strawberries, unripe fruit. It's just a really great Provence style rosé. People are going to ask for it. It's by the bottle only. So, you know, it's like if they want it, they got to get the bottle.
Yeah, you can tell just by looking at this guy, there's almost no color to it. It's very, very pale pink. So you're getting kind of really light hints of that, as Sean was saying, kind of more vibrant, fresh strawberry. There's kind of an earthiness to it too, which is a little unusual in white wines if you're not used to them, but I kind of find, especially Provence, kind of southern France, you get that earthiness that I really, really enjoy. I think it goes great with kind of the acid structure of the wine, and you know, that vibrant kind of ripe fruit just kind of balances it all out and makes it just a really easy sipping wine. That goes great with oysters, any kind of seafood you can think of. Really, this guy would stand up to.
Final notes on this, in particular this wine, you talked about the color of it, and that's because there's very, very limited skin contact. The Chateau does that purposely. They harvest their grapes early in the morning, so the acidity is at its peakness. And then it's aged in cement vats, and they purposely don't put this wine through any malolactic fermentation, which some rosés go through that, so that's why it's super light, super crisp. I know it's wintertime now. This wine will be on the list as we hit rosé season in the spring. We've got plenty of stock on it, so great patio pounder when it comes time.